has convinced millions of people that they need to read these books, promising that they will change their life, that they must add them to their TBR because they are the peak of literature. But I am here to tell you that that might not be true. I'm here to tell you that if you read these books, they might ruin your love of reading. Today, I will be breaking down 10 of the most cringeworthy book talk books and telling you exactly why they are so cringy so that you can save yourself from experiencing the trauma of them. Let's get into it. Hello my lovelies and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm just gonna forewarn you, some of you might be a little bit triggered by it because a lot of the books I'm going to be talking about are very well loved by many people, but I am simply not one of these people. Disclaimer, everything I say in this video is based off of my opinion, and if you disagree with me, that is completely fine. That is your opinion, even if it's wrong. So now some of you might be wondering, Hadley, ma'am, why do you look like you just got out of a clown car? Well, I am a teacher, if you guys didn't know, and today was character day at our school and I was Pinkie Pie. So I had the whole tutu with a tail, all the things, but I needed to film today, so this is what you're getting. Honestly though, I'm kind of like liking the vibe. Like, look at this hair. You can't tell me that it's not cute. And if you do, you're lying. Okay, for the first book, we will be talking about Lights Out by Navessa Allen. I know, I already told you these are very popular books and a lot of you are probably gonna come after me because, you know what? I'm gonna be honest, I like this book. I liked Josh and I liked what's her name? Amy? Yeah, Allie. I actually did like this book. I did like Josh, I liked what's her face. I did laugh a lot. There are plenty of cute moments, but I laughed even more at the amount of times that I closed this book, looked at my invisible cameraman and was like, what the heck did I just read? This book low-key felt like a Wattpad story collided with Peter Quill from Star Wars, came together and had a baby, and that's what this book is. That's what she is. Let me set the scene for you. He makes TikTok thirst traps. Now, no hate to anyone who does that, okay? If that's your thing, you go. You have your thing. But if that was not enough for you, he films with this mask on, okay? There is a scene where he breaks into her house as her stalker, leaves his mask on her bed, she gets home and finds it, and proceeds to have some fun with herself, if you know what I mean, while looking at the mask. Jail! Instantly jail time, okay? There are a lot of things that I can read, but that was not one of them. I was just like, girl.
The woman was too stunned to speak.
Because she follows him on TikTok, okay? That's the whole premise of them, is like she's obsessed with the character that he is on TikTok, and it was just a whole lot of stuff that I was not ready for. I was traumatized by that book, and it was very cringy, if I'm completely honest. But it's fine. I did enjoy it. I did laugh a lot. There were cute moments. I do like Josh. He is funny. And you know what? Moving on. Where is it? Oh. My hair roll looks horrible from the back. This book, number 2, Kiss of the Basilisk. You all know how much I despise of this book. It wasn't even the fact that there was barely any plot, okay? I don't care, okay? No one's buying this book for the plot. No one is buying it for the plot. The cringiest part for me was not that it felt like an AO3 fanfic had escaped from containment. No, that is fine. You know what? Period. Pop off. It was not the fact that it was super insta-lusty. And surprisingly, it wasn't even the claw. And if you don't know what that claw is, protect your peace. If you want to know what it is, and you want to be traumatized by that, go to TikTok and look up Kiss of the Basilisk claw. You'll find it. It's everywhere. The cringiest part of this book for me was the female main character. Never in my life, in my entire life, have I hated a FMC more than I hated Temperance in this book. The woman literally said things like,
oh my gosh, he's the one for me. We're meant to be together. You're the only one who understands me.
And within a few paragraphs, or even in the same paragraph, this girl would sit here and be like,
he'll never understand me. We're not the same. He doesn't get who I am inside.
Girl, pick a lane. Pick a lane and stay in it, because you can't just keep swatching up like that. Also, I don't even want to talk about the love triangle that is in this book, because I genuinely hated it. And my friend Mia, she's gorgeous, she's sweet, she's stunning. Go find her on BookTok. She told me how book 2 ends, and I was like, what was the point? What was the point in me even reading this? And you know what? I'm gonna be honest. I DNF'd this. I will talk about it all day long. I DNF'd this book. I was not planning on getting the second book. I actually thought about going back and giving it a second try and getting the second book because, you know what? why the heck not? But then she told me how it ended. I was like, you know what? Bye. I'm done. I'm done. Moving on. Next, we have Icebreaker. Okay, I know this book has a huge fandom, and rightfully so, because they like it somehow. This book felt like it was genuinely written by an adult with a 13-year-old boy's sense of humor. Every 5 pages, something happened that felt like, why is this even here? Did we really need this scene again? Half of the book is supposed to be this emotional sports romance, but the other half feels like the characters are stuck in this never-ending locker room conversation. Like, it just keeps going. And I kept waiting for the story to like pick up and like get some momentum, but it never did. It just stayed there on the ice, sliding around. Moving on. Number 4, we have Wings of Ebony. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even finish this book. I couldn't even get past page 20. This was not because of a typo or a grammar incorrectness or misspellings, none of that, okay? I'm a K-pop girly. Do you know how many fanfics I've read that I literally don't even know how I understood them because English wasn't their first language or something else other than that? No, it was not any of that. It was the fact that this book was so ghetto. Okay? Not even just like, oh, this book was like badly written. No, it was ghetto. It felt so exaggerated to the point that I couldn't even stay in the story. That's how badly written the dialogue was for me. And honestly, the dialogue wasn't badly written. It was just cringy because of the way they were talking. And unfortunately, the book became a very early DNF because of that one detail. I bought the book and I wanted to enjoy it because it had gotten so popular on BookTok. And then I opened it and on page 1, I was like, what have I done? It was so bad. And now it just like sits on the shelf and judges me. Sorry. Moving on. I don't know if y'all are ready for this one. I am ready. Twisted Love. Oh my gosh, you guys, this book. Where do I even begin with this book? Because you know what? I think the worst part of this was the fact that I knew I wasn't gonna like this book. I knew I was gonna open it and I was gonna find something that I hated. I knew it was most likely, I had this feeling, okay? Somehow I knew it was gonna make me cringe. But I have some friends who absolutely loved the book. So I was like, you know what? I will give it a chance because they convinced me. And you know what? I was right. This book, let me just read you this line, okay? Okay, let me just read you this line. This was the thing that like up until this point I was like, you know what, I don't like them, I don't like the characters, but I can see why people like it. Then I got to this page, you guys, page 155. Let me read you the line. You're about to find out what happens when you invite yourself into the lion's den. Absolutely not. Excuse me? If I'm with my partner and we're about to go to his room and he looks at me and says, you're about to find out what happens when you enter the lion's den, I'm leaving. Immediately gone. I'm done. And that's what this book was for me. I couldn't even pay attention for the rest of the story because I was like, he said that. He actually said that. No. Done. Get out. If I am completely honest, I think that was the cringiest line I have ever read in my entire life. I closed the book and I put it down and I sat there and I was like, I'm not even going to read the next chapter. I don't even know how to recover from this. I mentally could not even comprehend the fact that he had just said that.
Brother,
I was like, this is not some epic fantasy novel, okay? Sir, this is a contemporary romance. You're not about to go to war. Absolutely not. Moving on, next up is Credence, okay? And some of you probably could have guessed that this book was going to be in this video. And I'm gonna be honest, I liked this book as well. The plot is minimal, but no one is reading it for the plot, just like it's the Basilisk, except for the fact that I actually enjoyed the plot in this one. As minimal as it was, I was still able to follow along and I did enjoy the plot of it. The cringiest part for me in this book was Noah. Okay, I could handle Caleb. Caleb got on my nerves and I genuinely just was like, why are you even here? But Noah, oh my gosh. This man spends the entire book, and you heard me right, man, because he's a full-grown adult, spends the entire book basically begging the main character to pick him. Okay, wait, where is it? Where is she? Now listen. I love a man who yearns, okay? A man who would literally worship the ground she walks on. Sold. Immediately sold. I can't even express how much I love that trope in a book. This was not that. This was not yearning. This was whining. This was him spending literally the entire book like,
Pick me. Choose me. Love me.
And I was like, boy, if you don't shut up. He was just whining the entire time. And they didn't even have the chemistry to justify it for him. So instead of romantic tension, it was just like awkward. It was kind of like Day and Ados from Fourth Wing, but in a contemporary romance. I could not. Moving on, we have Five Brothers by Penelope Douglas. Now, some of you may know what this is, some of you may not. I couldn't even tell you what this book is about other than five brothers. Five brothers. Honestly, this felt less like reading a romance and more like watching a social experiment go down. And I don't even know where they were trying to accomplish by the experiment. Every time I thought the situation could not get possibly more, every time I thought Every time I thought the situation could not possibly get even more uncomfortable, it did. And I just sat there thinking, is this really happening? Who approved this? Who thought this was a good idea? And more importantly, why am I still reading it? But I did read it and I did finish it. And I was like, you know what? Pop off, queen. You go, girl. Period. Moving on. Next up. Okay. Before any of you get upset about me saying that this book is cringy, I loved Fourth Wing. It was absolutely to die for. I mean, the dragons, if you know me, I am a dragon girl. Like, I love dragons. Wings of Fire is my childhood comfort book. Anytime I am sad, I will go back to the Wings of Fire books. I love dragons and I loved Fourth Wing. We're not here to talk about Fourth Wing. This book, 5 stars. Actually, no, this is a god tier book. However, this was not. We are here to talk about Iron Flame. This book, oh no. It could not hold a candle to Fourth Wing. Okay, Iron Flame made me just sit there and like rock back and forth like a person in an insane asylum. I despised almost every moment of this book, not all of it, because there were some good points when they actually decided to get over themselves and act like the people they were supposed to be. I enjoyed this book and there was a good plot. It had such a great concept. I was so here for it, except for the fact that 90% of this book is just Xaden and Violet not communicating with each other and acting like emotional 14-year-olds. That's what this book was for me. Hello, Father. Like, Xaden and Violet are literally supposed to be leading a rebellion and saving the world. Xaden is being all dramatic and broody, and Violet's just sitting there, like, gaslighting herself that it's all okay. And I'm like, okay, first of all, Violet's supposed to be this, like, do what I want, think for myself baddie. And then the moment Xaden walks in, she just, like, folds. And honestly, girl, same. You know what? It's Xaden. It's Xaden Ryerson. Who wouldn't? But genuinely, the entire time, I was just sitting there like, you two are supposed to be, like, saving the world and stopping a war. Please act like it. The relationship drama was genuinely exhausting. And then Onyx Storm, don't even get me started on that one, or I... No. Moving on. Next up, we have Legendborn. And this is a little bit controversial because the premise of this book is actually very interesting. It's Arthurian legend. It's got secret societies. It's modern fantasy mixed with college life. It's all very interesting and a very good concept. But for me, again, the cringe came from the dialogue. It was just so over dramatized and it felt like so many moments that were simple, mundane moments were like, this is the final war and we are going to win. Like that kind of drama within it. Every single discussion had the emotional intensity of like a final boss battle. And I was just sitting here like, can someone relax for a minute? Like, can we chill for 5 seconds? Like, can we do some normal stuff? Not every line needs to sound like it's from a movie trailer. But other than that small detail, and even though it did make me cringe so much because of that, the book itself, like the concept and the plot, was actually very good. And that's why so many people do love it. So even though I did cringe in it, I do think I actually liked this book now that I'm thinking about it. I don't really remember. I read this like 4 or 5 years ago. Moving on. Okay, and for our last book, we have Crave. This... Y'all, I could talk about this book and rant about it for days. And honestly, I probably will. Because this book is 594 pages and 590 of them are Grace's stinking inner monologue. I am not exaggerating. Like over 90% of the book is her just looking at a wall. Or admiring a plate of waffles that what's-his-face brought her. Like, what are we even doing? We are thinking and reflecting and observing and thinking and reflecting and observing. And it's like over and over again. I'm pretty sure there were 20 pages describing a hallway. Huh? I am so serious right now. Like, this book, you guys, I cannot even. And honestly, it wasn't even just the inner monologue. The entire book, all of it was just so cringy. I did not like the male main character. Like, he's a vampire, right? And he walks in and he eats a strawberry. And it's like, you did that to intimidate her. He eats a strawberry to intimidate her. And like, I cringe thinking about the scene because they're having this party and he walks in and just like is staring at her all like broody and stuff. And I actually, like, at this point in the book, I was engaged and hooked because I was like,
Oh my gosh, it's the dark, morally great character. Oh my gosh, he's here.
and he walks in and he gets a strawberry and sits in the chair and like he like eats it and like a drop like goes down his lip and she's like describing it and it's so weird. It's so weird. It's like if Twilight have 10 times more angst. I despise this book. And there was just so much going on that I genuinely was like, what is happening here? Because there's vampires and it's like a school for paranormal, like, gifted people, and like there's vampires and dragons and witches, but like the way it was written, it didn't fit. Like, it didn't feel like they fit because it's like, it was very gothic romance, and so like everything fit in, and then there'd just randomly be a dragon flying by, and I was like, okay, the gargoyles, the vampire, all of that I understand, like even like some of the warlocks, but the dragons, I think that was the one part that, as much as I love dragons, they just felt so out of place the way this book was written. The worst part about all of it was this book, like, the concept was good. Honestly, it could have been a good book at 250, 300 pages, but it wasn't that. It just kept going and it kept going and it kept going. And like every other word was her sitting here like, he put whipped cream on my waffles. No. And at the time when I was reading this, it was when I was at this point in my reading journey where I would not DNF anything. Like, if I started something, I was going to finish it. And so I'm like this far in, ready to rip out my eyeballs. And I was genuinely feel like if I hadn't picked up Verity right after reading this book, I would have stayed in a book slump and never read again because I despise this book so much. And I love reading. I love reading so much. But if I hadn't found Verity right after this book, I would not be reading today. I do not believe I would be. I don't even know why it's popular. I do not know why this book got so popular. And there's like 8 books in the series. So the Crave series is Crave, Crush, Covet, Court, Charm, Cherish, and Catmere Academy and Insider's Guide. So there are literally 7 books in this series. I don't know how. I don't know why. Actually, I do know how. Because Grace is literally describing the speck of dirt on the wall for 30 pages. Okay? This book was no. It was no. That's what it was. I wish I didn't read it. Oh my gosh, another cringy part is like the beginning of all of the chapters have this like quote on it. Like, listen to this. If you're not living on the edge, you're taking up too much space. What? Hold on, let me find another one. Landing is just throwing yourself at the ground and hoping you don't miss. Well, my lovelies, thank you so much for watching this video, especially if you made it to this point. If you've read any of these books and you liked them or disliked them, let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to like or subscribe because, I mean, you're already here, so why not? What are you doing? Please remember to eat something today and drink something today, and remember to slow down. It's okay. You are exactly where you need to be right now. You are strong, beautiful, and capable. Exactly what I want to be when I grow up. I hope you have an amazing day and happy reading.